Hello, Brittany, Elizabeth, Keely, Cindy, Allison, Jamie, Vanessa, Katie, Lauren, Cynthia, Amani, Nicole, and Sophia. Again, thank you for a great week of discussion in week 5 as we talked about key performance indicators. I just want to mention a couple of quick things about this discussion. First of all, the section of discussion about ETR, employee turnover rate. Excellent insights there. Keely brought that up in her post about her workplace, and Katie, Nicole, Cindy, Sophia, and Allison chimed in there, and where there was general agreement that ETR is a very important measure in a company, that the turnover rate is something that should really get some attention, because a high ETR is expensive. When you need to train and orient new employees all the time, it can disrupt operations. It can cause service problems. And it certainly costs the organization money. The thing that all of you pointed out, that many of you pointed out, is that it's not enough to simply know what the ETR is. You have to have more information to really be able to use that number effectively. If you have a high ETR in a position because the people in that position get to a certain point, they get to a certain amount of knowledge, and then they get promoted and advance in the organization, that tells you one thing. If, on the other hand, people in a position, one after another quits, that probably tells you something else. But the only way that you would really know about what's happening is probably to do exit interviews. And it's definitely, when you have a higher ETR, and even when you don't have a higher ETR, exit interviews probably make a lot of sense, just to see what is going on that is causing people to move out of positions. Another thing that was a good part of our discussion, the discussion about healthcare that Sophia started and Elizabeth chimed in on. How do you measure availability of healthcare? How do you measure how a hospital is serving the population? Again, it's not just a matter of getting data that you can get, like kind of measuring the things that are easy to measure, but delving in behind that data, finding out what some of the reasons are for the numbers that you're getting. So thank you to the two of you for those insights that you shared. As we look forward to our last week of discussion, I want to encourage you to think about the last 2 weeks of process and performance. This week we just did with KPIs and quality management and technology, ISO 9000, and quality recalls that we're talking about this week in week 6. I encourage you to think about those two things in terms of the material from week 4 when we talked about ethics and leadership. How important do you think it is for ethics and leadership to be high quality in order to be successful with process and performance and with quality management and technology with implementing something like ISO 9000? I would argue that without some good ethical culture, without some effective leadership, it's going to be extremely challenging to have good KPIs or implement a process like ISO 9000, or even to do something like Six Sigma, or to engage in agile planning. Any of those things, I think, require some ethics and leadership in place in order to be successful. But I'm interested in your thoughts about how those things might fit together too. So if you have something to say, that would be awesome. I look forward to our last week of discussion, and if there is any way that I can be helpful to you as we finish up the course, please reach out to me. And look at this, 5 minutes. Finally, I made a short one.